Hey there guys, this is Chauncey J. Kent, and this is episode 7 of my Skyblock survival series. Now I hope you guys are ready for some good times today, because today we are going to be working on setting up an iron farm. That's right guys. Got the gold farm set up, managed to get the gold that we needed to make some gold apples, so we can turn zombie villagers into regular villagers, which are significantly easier to get along with. And that means we can set up a village, which also means we can set up a gold farm. An iron farm, excuse me. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now I'm going to take you guys to a part of the base you probably haven't seen since episode 1. It's the very, very top of my mob spawner. It's a nice, big, wide open area, and this is where we will be working today. Alright. So I went ahead and collected materials for this project. They are all right here. Of course, this is not nearly as many doors as we'll need, but they do tend to take up a lot of space since in this version of Minecraft they do not stack. Although, as I understand it, that's coming in 1.8, so look forward to that. So yeah, we'll be crafting those when we need them. But down here we've got plenty of the smooth stone. We can turn it into the stone bricks if we need to. We've got the cobble. We've got some glass. And let me tell you guys, that was expensive. It's 1,000 for every sand block, and then you gotta cook it into glass. So yeah, I've been doing a bit of AFK farming. Of course we've got our hoppers. Needed a little bit of glowstone, which of course I managed to get from the mob grinder I have down below. I got some signs, got a chest. This is gonna be awesome. And see here we've got the lava bucket and water to set up an infinite source to get that going. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to start right there, setting up our infinite source, and we're going to put down our hoppers and get to it. Alright, now I'm sure all of you know how to make an infinite water source. If you don't, it's really, really easy. This is my favorite version because you can take water from anywhere. Basically, you pop one source block into the corner here. There we go. Put another one in the opposite corner, and then all 4 of these become source blocks. Basically what you need to create an infinite source is to have one source block, an empty space, and then another source block. You can do that in a straight line, you can do that in an L pattern, or you can do it in a big square, which is essentially just 2 L patterns put together. So let's go ahead and fill those back up. And that's done. You see how it refills and becomes a source? Well, there you go. Infinite water source. Ta-da! Alright. Now let's get started with the hoppers here. Now you'll notice I went ahead and raised this up a little bit. That is intentional. In fact, we're actually going to raise that one more level. And the reason for that is, in case I want to do a item sorter underneath this, kind of like I did with the gold farm. Just to pull the roses out and leave nothing but the iron in the main chest. But yeah, so that's that. And what we're going to need to... I'm standing in the way and I can't do that. There we go, that's a little better. Yeah, so what we're going to need to do, if you're familiar with the way that hoppers are placed, you'll know that you do have to place them so that they're directed into the block that they're feeding into. Now this will become a chest later on. But for right now, it's a wool block. I just click there, and then of course to attach hoppers to one another you have to shift click, otherwise you'll end up opening the inventory like this. So press shift, right click, and bam, there we go. And then what we're going to do is basically we'll have a center line going straight into the chest, and then each of these side hoppers will feed into that center line. So no matter where things are falling into the system from, they will always pass right through this hopper, which will be convenient for setting up a sorting system later because we only have to sort what is coming through this hopper right here. And that way we don't have to set up multiple systems, which can get messy. So let's get rid of this. There we go. Alright, and that's the start of our iron farm. Very cool. Alright, now let's grab some materials here. I will need these. Don't quite need these yet, so we'll toss them in here. And let's grab some more of our smooth stone. And just a little bit of the glass. I think that's all we'll need. Don't hold me to that though. Now, of course, as you know, I have been AFKing, doing a bit of farming, trying to get all the materials necessary for this project while I was off camera. However, if you guys are familiar with me and my projects that I do, you'll know that there's a fair chance that I might have to go back for something in the middle of this. So if I do cut out and go back for more materials, just know that it's because I ended up not having enough. Alright, so let's go ahead and toss this block here, and we'll do the same on the other side. Now, what these are is basically just spacers to kind of get us started. We'll remove those in just a minute. But for this particular design, just to save some materials and make it look nice, I decided to go ahead and cut the corners off. So it's just an empty block here instead of having a squarish pattern. Now, in my opinion, I think that makes it look a little bit nicer, a little less blocky and whatnot. But when you're doing this design yourself, if you choose to do one, you know, it's kind of up to you how you want to decorate it and design it and all that. So, oh, whoops. Okay. And then this is where the glass comes in because we want to watch. You know what, we're going to need 9 blocks of this, aren't we? Oh, and so I hit a bit of a mental block here, and I don't remember how I designed this. So, let me pause here for a second. I'll jump into my test world and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry about that little break there. Just had to double check something, make sure I wasn't messing up too badly, and it doesn't look like I was. But yeah, we do want to go ahead and put glass here, and then we can grab these back. Huzzah. And they may end up in the hoppers accidentally. I don't know. We'll see. Anything? No. Okay. And that inconveniently blocks my path up. That's okay. Not a big deal. Good thing about this whole wool thing is we can tear it down and move it around. And I'm actually going to switch the block I'm digging with here just so I don't accidentally place the glass. Now, I did manage to get a Silk Touch enchantment on a book the other day. I haven't decided exactly what tool I want to put that on yet. I'm not even sure what would be most useful for the Skyblock stuff. But we'll figure something out and kind of go from there. Alright, there we go. Much better. Now, go ahead and put the rest of the glass up. There we go. Don't have to worry about that now. And what we need to do for this is actually go 3 high on each of these walls. Oh yeah, and if you don't know how to make the stone brick, it's just smooth stone in a 2x2 square like this, which each one will give you 4 of the stone brick. And of course, if you want to do it all at once, just press shift and then left click like normal, and you get the whole thing. Alright, and of course I really like the stone brick textures. I think they look nice. They work well with the cobblestone and the smooth stone. Like, the colors are all about the same, so it works together really well as far as design elements go. And of course it gives you a different feel as you mix them together and do that kind of stuff with them, so that's always a good thing too. Alright, so there we go. That's the the area where the golems will fall into. Now I do need to go ahead and set the rest of that up. Basically what we have to do is put some signs in, and then we'll have to put the lava bucket in. And we can go ahead and do that. I'll risk it. Alright. So, the point of putting the signs in is actually to raise the lava block up by one level, so that when the golems get killed by the lava, it's not sitting right on top of the hoppers, and so it won't burn the drops until they've got room to fall in and get picked up by the hopper system instead of just getting burnt outright. Okay, and that pattern there is actually going to cover all of the hoppers with a what the game will consider a block generated by these signs here. Alrighty, so we don't need any more of those. Go ahead and show you what it looks like with the lava placed, and then we're actually going to need some more of the cobblestone, or cobblestone as some people like to call it. And yeah, so you would think that lava would burn signs after a while, but yeah, it totally doesn't. However, we can't place it directly on a sign, so what we'll do is put the wool block, and then we'll get rid of said wool block. And there we go. One lava source block covers the whole thing. Not a problem at all. And I'll show you what this looks like with the glass right there. You can come down. See, you've got the empty space. You've got the lava source block. Golems will fall in. They're 2 and some blocks tall. So their feet will be down here, just chilling, sitting on the hoppers. This will be burning them until they die. Drops will fall into the hoppers, which will then go into a chest attached right here. And everything will be great. Okay, now to do the first spawning floor. Oh, and just for the record, I absolutely 100% did not come up with this design. This is something I got from another YouTuber's video a little while back, and I cannot for the life of me remember exactly who it was that did that particular video. But I do want to make it clear this is not my own personal design. Now, I have modified it a little bit to work with the island, and in particular to work with a single block as a center point, which is kind of how this island is arranged, versus doing just a 2x2 square center point like a lot of things are arranged and how this was originally designed. So yeah, I did have to change it a little bit, did have to mess around with it, and of course I don't want this to be just an iron farm. I also want to have a village kind of built, incorporated into it at the same time, so it's not only functional but fancy. Did that not break? I thought that broke. Okay. And so yeah, it has been modified a little bit from the original, but the original concept is not mine, and I just wanted to make that clear so that there's no controversy about stealing other people's stuff and whatnot. Like, I don't pretend to be able to sit down and come up with this stuff on my own. Some things I will, but generally the majority of what I do is a modification in one way or another of things that I have seen in the past. But of Of course, I would hope that anyone watching would feel free to do things that are similar to what I do on the series, and just modify them and, just have fun with the game with them, because that's kind of the point. It's like we all play Minecraft to have fun, and if you see something in my series and you want to copy it, even if you're another YouTuber, go for it. I mean, why not? So the more people do things, and the more they tweak them and change them, the better things get. And of course that just contributes to the community. We can get more great videos coming out. There's a lot more cool stuff that we can do with Minecraft. Really just, it's helpful to everyone overall. So I think, and a lot of other YouTubers have expressed the same opinion. It's really not a big deal to take an idea from someone else's Let's Plays or tutorials or whatnot and use it, and even change it a little bit to do what you need it to do. Alright, so this is the first spawning floor, and basically, if you're doing this design in your own world, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blocks wide. And then, as with the as with this part here, we're actually going to cut the corner that would go right here, and that would go right here. So we do have to do the spacer blocks again, which isn't that big a deal. Goes there and there. And then we're going to build a wall that is 3 blocks high. There'll be this, there'll be 2 smooth stone bricks, and then the next spawning floor. Alright, remove the wool as we go. Now, on a completely unrelated topic, I was watching a YouTube recently and just found out that the carpets from 1.6 can actually be placed on top of water blocks. I had no idea that was the case. I thought it was still just lily pads that could do the magic floating on water thing. And you'll notice down in my wheat farm area, I do have a few lily pads as an attempt to cover up the water so that items and myself don't fall in. Well, now that I know that carpets can do that, it seems a lot more reasonable to go ahead and use carpets, which I can readily craft in pretty much any color I want, versus spending hours and hours fishing on the off chance that I might get a lily pad. So within the next couple episodes, that's definitely something we'll be doing, and it will probably be a multi-project episode just because honestly it's not going to take that long to craft a few carpets and throw them down. Now, I was a little unsure what colors I wanted to go with. I'm kind of thinking doing different colors for the different farm types, like a green for the watermelons, orange for the pumpkins, yellow for the wheat, and that kind of thing. But if you guys have another idea or another pattern you want to see, go ahead and let me know down in the comments section, and we'll see if we can't do something like that, because that would be cool too. Alrighty. We are moving right along here. Now basically what's going to happen here is I'm going to have golems that spawn here, it'll just push them down into this part of the collection area. Oh, crap. Now that's the one bad thing about working with smooth stone, is if you place it wrong and you mine it up without silk touch, you don't get back smooth stone, you get cobblestone. So it looks nice, and I really enjoy building with it, except when I misplace it, which is very occasionally. Okay, now it's time for the next floor. Yeah, a lot of times when I do floors, I like to do just border them with the stone bricks like this and fill it in with cobblestone. For whatever reason, I feel like that just looks really nice. Okay. Kind of fill this in here. Alright, and since this probably isn't the most stimulating part of the build, I'll go ahead and cut out this part and just come back once I have this floor filled in. Alright, be right back, guys. Alright guys, I'm back, and as you can tell, I definitely don't have the floor finished up yet. That's actually because I ran out of cobblestone here, so I need to go down and get some, but my ladder is currently blocked off by stone and a boiling pit of lava. So I decided I'd go ahead and start recording again, just so you can watch and laugh at me if I miss this jump. You like that? Yep, just like that. Okay, so yeah, not lethal, but surely entertaining. Let's go ahead and grab all of this, and this as well while we're here. Okay. And what we'll do is go ahead and remove all of this, since we don't need it any longer. Yep, lag spike. Always a good time. And there we go. Got all that, and then we're just going to pillar up in the corner here, or just slightly next to the corner here, so I don't have to move the torch. Alright. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's been doing this a bit. I might have to come back to the recording later when the connection's a little bit more stable. So we're going to go ahead and cut here for the time being, and I'll be back later. Alright. Alright, I'm back, guys. It's literally been less than a minute. I was able to log right back in, so I thought I'd give it at least one more go here and see how far we can get before getting kicked again. Hopefully we can kind of finish it out here, because that would be excellent. Okay, there we go. Second floor done. Easy peasy. Now, the hard part is going to be getting the water down into there. So let's go ahead back down here, grab a couple buckets, and take care of that. And, you know, as it happens, I do have these two buckets. Now, a smart person probably would have grabbed an extra bucket so they could do each floor in one trip. I didn't do that, so I'm actually going to go grab a bucket real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back, and as you can see in my inventory, we now have 4 water buckets. So what I can do is just hop down to this floor down here, by digging through the cobble, not by jumping into the lava, and then we'll pillar back up and replace that block we just removed. Although since no block fell, I have a feeling it's about to kick me again. Oh yeah, it's about to kick me again. Well, that's a little irritating, but basically what you would do, put the water in the corner, and what it should do is flow down and leave just one block wide here empty, which actually doesn't really matter given that the golems are 2x2 entities, so even if they're on that, they're still getting hit by one water stream or the other and pushed towards this collection area. Oh good, it didn't kick me. Perfect. It was just like a massive leg spike. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, so clearly lots of lag. Excellent. Well, it is kind of a peak hour. Silly me for doing my recording now. That's alright, though. Nope. There we go. Now, hopefully it remembers all of what I'm doing now, so I don't have to do it again. But, yeah, since we're getting a lot of lag here, or so it seems, I'll probably wait for it to catch up off camera. Oh, there it goes. It kicked me again. Okay, yeah, we're going to go ahead and stop recording for a little bit, and I'll see you guys a little bit later today. Alright, talk to you later. Alright guys, welcome back. Now, for you guys, it's only been a couple of seconds due to the miracle that is editing. It has, in fact, been a couple, well, more than a couple, like a few hours since we were last on. And hopefully the server, I actually just logged back in, so hopefully the server has figured out its problems and worked through them and seen a grief counselor and all that if it needed to. So, yeah, let's continue on with the project here, and we'll go from there. So, basically we want to go ahead and keep building the walls here. Now this level is a little bit different because this is the level where we're going to be doing the doors. And just because I can only carry so many in my inventory at once, there'll be a little bit of up and down to make this happen. But the first layer here is just the layer of smooth stone that the doors will be sitting on. Oop, ran out. Next. There we go. Alright, and let me see here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, yeah, there will be doors on every single one of those. So, basically what we're going to do is just hop down here and onto my wool pillar, wherever it disappeared to. This side maybe... no. There it is. Okay, and we'll make ourselves some doors in addition to the ones we already have. Just fill our inventory with as many as we need. For this particular design, I'll be doing 44. If you want to do the math really quick in your head, that's fine. I will probably throw it up on screen here, but basically what it accounts to is a maximum population of 13 villagers once we get this thing going. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Toss these in here. Interesting. I've only got the... Is there... Okay. I don't think it did the water. Which is fine. We'll have to, we'll just have to come back to that later. Not a big deal. Okay, so yeah. Those are doors. I won't need these. I can go there. Sorry, just a little organization here. Keep myself less confused. Alright. basically make as many of those as we can. Toss a couple of these in here. Okay, so that's like a whole bunch of them. And we'll just see how that goes. Should be right. Yep, perfect. Wonderful. Oh, fail. Okay, so... Aha. Wow. Okay, so, you may have noticed that I'm making a couple of extra mistakes. Now that's probably due to just coming home from work and being a little bit tired. So I do apologize for that. But, you know, watching people make mistakes is funny, and I really have no problem with you laughing at me. So just have a good time with it, and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, wonderful. Now, the way I like to do it is actually from the inside. I think it looks a little better. You can do it however you want, though. As when you build this yourself, if you choose to do so, it'll basically be your own design, and you can do things your way. Alrighty, and then we need to go back down. Ah, that's much better. Yes, punching wool is much more pleasant than punching stone. Goes so much faster and bloodies the knuckles somewhat less. Alright, leave that one there. And make more doors. So you kind of get the idea. Wow. I must be really tired. Alright, yeah, so you kind of get the idea of what I'm doing here. Just making doors, putting them up. I will be right back once we're all finished with that, and then we'll continue with the rest of the project. Alright, be right back, guys. Alright, guys, and we are back. And as you can see, we've got all the doors set up and ready to go. Okay, Lag City. Doors set up, ready to go. Okay, and so once you're done, this is basically what it's going to look like. Now, since our water glitched out a little bit earlier, we're going to go ahead and go down and wait. Okay, well, we've got one water source block anyway. Since some of our water glitched out earlier, sorry, excuse the scratchy throat there, we're going to go ahead and go down and fix the rest. I did go ahead and grab an extra water bucket while I was off camera, so we could take care of that, no problem. There's that, and it spreads, and wonderful. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. Okay, and of course, as you'll notice, like I was saying earlier, we do have the one block strip that's open. That is perfectly okay, because the iron golems are 2 by 2, and that means no matter where they're standing, even if half of them is on this strip, they're still being pushed by the water and down into the collection area. Alright, so let's... Ooh. There we go. That is my point of pillaring. And I need water bucket. Excellent. No, not there. There. Perfect. Alrighty. Let's hop back up here right quick. The reason I'm doing that is because I won't be able to reach this bottom block from all the way on top. There we go. Water's in place, and that's all set. And of course we'll have to do the same thing here in just a little bit. Of course I'll have to go back down for some more water to do that. But first, I'd like to go ahead and place the majority of these. Now what we have to do here in order to turn these into valid houses, and I just did air quotes, Yeah, so obviously you guys can't see me do the air quotes, but I'm doing them. To turn these into valid houses, I need to put a block either here or here to mark it officially as the inside. So what we'll do is just hold shift and place a block. If you don't hold shift, it's going to open the door, and that's not exactly what we're trying to accomplish in this case. Now be sure to leave yourself room where your pillar is so you can get back down, and hopefully I didn't already block myself off from it. That would be kind of embarrassing. Not that I don't already embarrass myself. Okay, good. So what we'll do, put a block here, put a block here, and I can still walk under him and get out. Okay, that's that. And it looks like we've got the sun setting. Now, generally this isn't necessary, but given my history with mobs spawning in the middle of my projects, I'm gonna go ahead and toss a couple torches down just to be extra careful and make sure we don't have any encounters that we're not really looking to have tonight. Yeah, almost. Let's do maybe 16. That might be enough. We'll see. Okay. Of course, it's the last one you check. Very good. Go back downstairs. We'll get some water. Set up the water areas here, which will be perfect because then there definitely won't be any mobs spawning in here, which is absolutely what we want. And then we can proceed to building the top portion of this, and then the villager storage area where we'll be building like a fancier village later on. Now obviously the decorative parts of this are something I'm going to save for a little bit later. As you can probably tell from the rest of my island, I'm not a huge fan of the idea of just having things floating in midair like this, unless there's something to kind of explain why it's doing that. You know, like if you made a hot air balloon or something, then obviously that would be floating in midair and would be fine because that makes sense. But this is a giant stone structure that absolutely should not be flying like this. So eventually I will come in and put in some decorative support pillar stuff just to make it fancier and look a little bit nicer, etc., etc. But for right now, we're just gonna try and get it functional, and then we can work on the form a little bit. Okay, so yeah, what we need here is the buckets. Fill those with some water. There we are. And now it's back to the top. Top, top, top. Okay, there we go. That'll work. And while we're doing this, we get our torches back, because torches cost resources, and we don't want to waste resources if we don't have to, because wasting resources is a bad thing to do on a Skyblock island. It just is. There we are. Frankly, wasting resources is bad anywhere, but it's a little less forgivable on a Skyblock island. Alright, so that's there. Oh, let me out. Oh, alright. There we go, we didn't die. Excellent. Haha, wonderful. Okay. And basically what happens now is we'll be placing more of these like this, all the way around the top portion here. So it looks like we might need more of these. However, what we don't need is the rest of the smooth stone, so we can turn a whole bunch of it into the stone brick and be fine. So there we go. Now, if you're wondering, and you might not be, but just in case you are, hey, Chauncey J. Kent, aren't the golems going to spawn up here if this whole area is averaged as the village center? To which I would say, you know what, my viewer, that is an excellent question. And the answer to that is typically yes. However, we have a system to prevent that and kind of force the golems to spawn in here instead. What system might that be, you ask? Well, unfortunately the spawning rules for golems are a little bit different than with regular mobs. They can spawn on any solid block, including water. However, that means they cannot spawn on a transparent block. So that basically means they can spawn up here, but they would not be able to spawn on glass. Which is why this particular project is so expensive and required a whole lot of AFK farming, because I have to cover these 2 rows in glass. And of course I do want to get some light up here just in case mobs want to spawn like down here or in some random place, and so that's what the glowstone is for. It'll go on each of these 4 corners with glass on top of it, just to prevent any possible mob spawning up in this area. Alright, now let's go back down here and get ourselves our glass, and then that will finish up the major portion of this particular project. There we go. Alright, now I need to be really careful with the glass here. It is a precious resource. Very, very expensive. Very difficult, well, not difficult to replace, but costly to replace. And I forgot the glowstone. Wow. Well, you guys are probably kind of used to that at this point. It does seem like I go back a lot for things that I forget to bring with me. Thankfully, this isn't all the way at the bottom of the island, it's just at the chest right here. So it seems like this system has worked out pretty well. I've only had to go back down for a couple things, which has reduced the number of cuts in this video, which is, in my opinion, a good thing. Alright. Get some light up in here. Alright. And then, as the Covenant would say, glass it. And if you guys are familiar with that reference, then you are probably a fan of first-person shooters. I honestly don't do a whole lot of first-person shooters. The last one I really got into was Modern Warfare 3. And I did do a fair amount of the multiplayer, but the survival part of the game was what I enjoyed the most. And I did get decently far in it, but I didn't necessarily like reach the highest rank or anything. I got to a point where I got the I think it's the PK Pecheneg unlocked in the survival mode, and that was just the most fun weapon ever. And I enjoyed it, and I got kind of tired of it, and now I'll play with friends occasionally, but not real often. Yep, most of my playing is done on Minecraft now, or similar games. I do a couple other things. Some things that I'll eventually start recording, but not just yet, because I'm still looking into whether it's okay to monetize that kind of stuff, and etc, etc. Boring YouTube stuff. Alright, so that's the main part of this build. Now, with this particular build, in order to not break the design, one thing you do have to do is make sure that you don't place any blocks within 5 blocks width of this structure. So basically, no opaque blocks. You could do transparent blocks like glass, but no opaque blocks. So if you did want to build something, you'd have to come 5 out from this. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the 6th block is where you could start building stuff. Now the reason for that is if you have another block out here, it's going to calculate the houses differently, and it's basically going to assume that like it has either 2 insides or 2 outsides, and then it's no longer going to count as a house, at which point your villagers will stop breeding, and when that happens excuse me, when that happens, of course your golem stops spawning, your iron stops flowing, and of course no one's happy, because when the iron stops flowing, no one is happy. Alright, so this episode's actually gone pretty long at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it here, make this a 2-part episode. Next episode we'll be building a large area around this for the villagers to live on, essentially, and we'll be setting up some traps and capturing ourselves a couple zombie villagers, and that will probably take a while, so I might time-lapse that, or just kind of cut to when I finally do get the zombie villagers, because you can't predict what's going to spawn and when, and will likely be there for a while unless Minecraft decides to love me and just give me what I need. So we'll see how that goes, but thanks guys for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, please go ahead and leave comments, and of course if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe so that you can get updates on when I release new videos and all that good stuff. Alright, so thanks for watching guys, and I'll talk at you later.